Ruben Amorim asked for more fight from his players. He said he wanted to see more aggression before the game. Do you feel like he definitely got that?
Yeah, he got that. As I said, it's a hard one to really sit down and dive into because they're playing against 10 men from earlier on in the game. But everything he probably asked for, he probably said he did see it because all it's all about is getting 3 points. It don't matter how you play. When you're under pressure like Ruben Amorim's under pressure and the next games they have is Brentford and Sunderland, everyone thought they were going to lose this game against Chelsea because Chelsea have been in decent form recently. But as I said, credit to them. It's starting to click. Cunha came up off the bench. Mason Mount's now fit. Both of them are fit. You never know with Man United. They could go on a little run now. But that's what I feel like. That's what happened.
But they needed a spark, didn't they?
That's what they did. They needed a spark and they got the spark. I'm beating a team like Chelsea, who I think will finish in the top 4 this season. It should give them good confidence moving forward.
Because now it's about just getting a little bit of momentum. You mentioned they've got Brentford next. What's really fascinating is that this is in the early kick-off on Saturday lunchtime. They win that. This is staggering when you look at the Premier League table. They'll move level on points with Arsenal in second.
There you go. So
obviously it's just very tight.
It is tight, but he's under pressure, and you feel like, why is he under pressure? Because performances haven't been good enough. But as I said, if you look where the league is, and they go and win on the weekend, they're joint with Arsenal. This is how crazy the league is.
And arguably they had a tough start when you look at the fixtures. The likes of obviously Arsenal first, Manchester.
Yeah, they've had difficult games. I think Arsenal have had the worst start. The hardest start, but definitely Man United have had hard games. But I think it's the way and the manner with the way they were losing football matches and not changing formation and stuff, where people are not getting the best out of their players, why people were being critical of him. But if
that formation is not going to change.
Of course, it's not going to change. So he has to stick with it, and you stick. And he's going to stick by it. And if he loses his job, so be it. But he's going to do it his way. So credit must go to him. But no, good performance against Chelsea. Even though they were playing against 10 men, you can't be critical of them.
Let's bring Dave into the conversation. And Dave, you've been having a closer look at Manchester United's attack.
Yeah, because a lot of the focus so far this season really has been criticism of Manchester United's setup out of possession and the way that opposition managers have managed basically to exploit them defensively. At the opposite end of the pitch, United have been better, and really they should be. They spent more than £200 million on forwards this summer. So is it paying off? At the moment, they are underperforming their expected goals. They've scored 6 goals this season, but the underlying numbers suggest that perhaps they could have scored more. They've had the most shots of any Premier League side this season. It's the conversion rate really that's letting them down a little bit at the moment. They've created the 4th most big chances. So is it going to be the attack that is going to cover up any defensive problems? Are Manchester United just going to say, well, we'll just outscore you?
Yeah, I think that's what they did in the summer by spending over, as you said, 200 million. They should have gone and got a number 6. That's what they needed, a centre midfielder. If you're going to play that way, you need someone beside Bruno Fernandes that can do that. And I know they want Belieber. They were interested in him at Brighton, but that's where they should have strengthened. But I think you hit the nail on the head. They're going to try and outscore teams because they know they haven't got the players that can probably defend how they want to play that. But one thing they can do is cause problems. I've been at a lot of their games this season. Fulham, they were very good, but they just can't score goals at the minute. It's their finishing, and people will say it's unlucky. It's not unlucky. You're creating the chances. You've got to be clinical. You spent a lot of money, and it's down to that front 3 to deliver.
Anyone from Palace would fit into the United team? Maybe a number 6?
Yeah, there is, but I don't think we need to talk about Young
I don't think he's been linked with United, to be fair.
I think he'll be linked with every other team, but no, let's leave Adam Wharton where he is. He doesn't need to be spoke about. For now, let's leave him where he is. No.
I thought that might be your answer. Right, I said we were going to talk about Chelsea. We're going to do that in just a second. Defeat, of course, at Old Trafford, compounded by an injury to Cole Palmer. Palmer has started just twice in the Premier League so far this season, and Enzo Maresca revealed in his news conference earlier that surgery has been considered.
He did already a huge effort on last Saturday to try to play the game. Again, he tried Saturday morning, he did the test, it was okay, but not 100%. But he wants to be there to help, teammates to be there in that kind of game. But unfortunately, then with 10 players, and also it was painful, so we decided to change him. And it's more day by day, week by week, game by game to see how it is and decide what we do.
You sort of mentioned that you're going to decide what you do week by week, but is the worst scenario potentially like a surgery to fix the problem? Or?
The medical staff, they didn't mention me about surgery until today. Now I don't know if in the next days or in the next weeks, but I don't think so, to be honest.
a little bit worrying, really, maybe on the Cole Palmer front. It's not that Chelsea don't get goals elsewhere, but do you feel like is it fair to say, a little bit over-reliant on Cole Palmer for goals and for assists?
Yeah, they are. Listen, he picked up an injury against West Ham and they scored 5, but West Ham are not playing well at the moment. They are so reliant.
So you just shut me down.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right. They are very reliant on Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is their best player. He's Chelsea's best player.
Sparks something.
Yeah, he creates so many chances. He's obviously speaking to his friend Kobe Mainoo, who we know is his good friend when he's walking down there. Yeah. So, but what I'm saying is they will miss Cole Palmer. It's a worry. It's a worry for Cole Palmer. It's a worry for Chelsea. It's also a worry for England come the summer, because I've seen with this groin injury, if he does need an operation, you might as well get it sooner rather than later, because you can't keep picking up these niggling injuries that he's picking up, because we want to see Cole Palmer on the pitch. I think he's an outstanding player. He makes things happen. And because I thought it was another tactical reason why he took him off, and I think
a lot of people did.
What is happening here? But then as soon as I saw him walking down the tunnel, I thought it's an injury. He's picked up an injury, Cole Palmer, and they need to manage him well, because he gives them that little bit of extra flair which they miss at times. And I think if he stayed on the pitch when he went to 10-10, he would have brought them back into it.
Yeah. For all the sort of money they've spent, and don't get me wrong, I know Liam Delap's obviously injured. João Pedro has got a couple of goals this Premier League season, but do they lack that really kind of big goal threat? You know, obviously City have got it in Haaland. This is why Liverpool have got Alexander Isak in. Yeah,
I get exactly what you're saying. You feel like that number 9, even though Delap's injured, and I do think Liam Delap will get you goals, and he's got a hamstring injury. Hopefully he'll be back soon. João Pedro's a fantastic player, but he's not an out-and-out goal scorer, João Pedro. He likes to drop into pockets and cause loads of problems. So they are kind of missing that number 9 who will get them the goals. I do think, as I said, I think Delap will score goals. I got a lot of faith in him, and at the moment, they just got to do what they've got to do until he comes back fit, because they're going to be relying on him, and also Cole Palmer as well. They need to keep him healthy. It's just strange, like Neto, because when you look at players like Neto in a game like that, you keep Neto on the pitch. So this is your moment then. Just frustrating. The question was, did Maresca panic after that red card? Did you feel like it all got sort of too defensive and too negative too soon? Because it was Neto and Estevao as well. Yeah, Cole Palmer injury. I get Estevao. I feel sorry for the youngster, but you have to bring the goalkeeper on. Then you take off Neto and bring on Tosin. Why do you need another? Do you want to match Man United? I don't understand. I don't understand why you need to bring on another centre half. Why don't you keep Neto up the pitch? He's one of the quickest in the Premier League. And you're going to have to do a lot of defending. He can take you up the pitch. Neto can take you up the pitch. He's got fantastic pace, been in good form this season. We were here, Soccer Saturday was 5:30. We were watching the game on the screen, and we all said it. What a crazy decision. Why are you taking off Neto? It makes no sense to me. Listen, he's a far better manager than I am. That's why I'm sat here and he's managing Chelsea. But I'm entitled to my opinion, and my opinion is he made a big mistake in sacrificing Neto and bringing on Tosin, because Neto's the outlet. You can see by his frustration, he lets out a big sigh, and he's not happy about it, but his decision. Yeah, it wasn't just his reaction, your reaction, it was everyone on social media. Exactly. As well. Right, Jamie Carragher actually said that Chelsea can't win the Premier League with their current goalkeepers and with their current centre-backs. This was Maresca's response to that today.
I think, I already said it many times, anyone can say what they decide to say. It's not a problem. I think we improved a lot last season. For instance, if you see the last 3 or 4 tables in the last 3-4 years, we closed the gap with the first 1, 2 or 3. Now, for me, this season, the main target is continue to improve players, continue to improve the team, and try to close that gap. So this is, for me, the main focus for this season.
Not really having it then. Should they have bought a new goalkeeper?
1,000,000%. Everyone will tell you in the world they should have gone. As I said, they should have bought a goalkeeper that has just gone to Man City. Donnarumma.
Is it that easy?
It's not that easy, but I think if you come in for him and you pay the money for him, which Chelsea do have the money because they do spend a lot of money on players, could you have gone and got him? Maybe not if it was a choice out of Man City and Chelsea, but you never know. Were they in for him? They look like they're happy with Sanchez. Don't get me wrong, he's done all right at times, but your last line of defence.
We're talking about the difference, aren't we?
Of course, you have different makers. David Raya at Arsenal, different maker. Alisson at Liverpool, difference maker. Donnarumma at Man City, different maker. They are the 3 of the best goalkeepers around in world football. Martinez at Aston Villa. I know Villa are struggling. Big difference maker. Could they not have got him? There was talk of him maybe leaving in the window. It's the same at Man United when they don't go and get top quality goalkeepers. First and foremost, I want my goalie to be able to save shots. So I don't care. Sanchez is good with the ball at his feet. You're not judged on playing out from the back. You're not an outfield player. You're a goalkeeper. Make saves with your hands. And at the moment, he's making bad decisions for Chelsea, and it's costing them. It cost them last season. It cost them against Man United. So they should have gone out and got it. I'm big on that, and they should have gone out and got it. So, and when Levi Colwill gets an injury, should go and buy a world-class centre-back, because I think he's a very good centre-back. They've got a lot of young players, but you need experience as well, and that's what they should have done. So I totally agree with Jamie Carragher.
I love that we've been chatting for 5 minutes about Chelsea. We basically said for all the money they've spent, they should have got a goalkeeper in and should have got a striker as well.
Well, yeah, because you know what? And they spent a lot of money. They have spent a lot of money, but I do think a goalkeeper was a must for Chelsea. They should have definitely brought a goalkeeper. I don't think they were challenged for the title. I do think they'll finish they've got a great chance of finishing in the top 4, but I don't think they'll challenge.
Well, congratulations to you both on a hard-fought win. How big do those 3 points feel, Bruno?
No, every 3 points is massive at this moment, because we haven't started the season as we wanted, obviously, but we go game by game. So today was massive, as the next one now for us it will be massive too.
You had to fight so hard, Luke, particularly in that second half. But now that you have got it over the line, how much do you think you needed that win in front of your home fans?
Yeah, it was it was massive. I think we spoke a lot about the game before the game about winning. The most important thing today was making sure we win and get the 3 points. And I think in the second half you could see how desperately we wanted to win. You know, we kind of just sat back and took a lot of pressure from them. But you know, I think the lads and the whole team defended really well, and you know, we're very happy with 3 points.
I suppose you could see it in the first half as well, though. The red card, it provides the opportunity, but you still got to take it. Do you feel that you did that? You delivered the aggression that your manager's been asking for?
Yeah, I think so. Again, I feel like we started the game really well, really sharp, really physical, put them under a lot of pressure in the first 5-10 minutes, and obviously that then, you know, brings the mistake from them, and then I think we know we can punish teams more with the chances we've created, but I think today definitely defensively we was much better defending in the box, and you know, we're very pleased with that.
Your 100th goal for Manchester United. I know you've scored many significant goals in that time, but how important was that one today to get you up and running?
No, every goal is important. It doesn't matter the moment. Obviously, big moment for me being in that reaching that milestone. Obviously, massive for a massive club. So I'm very happy. I won't hide from that. But it was not something that I was trying to achieve when I came to the club. I just wanted to do the best I could, and obviously, if I can get more goals to help the team to win games, that's what matters the most.
The Casemiro red card, I suppose, made things a bit difficult for you in the second half. But how important was it to, in front of the fans, show that character to make your way through that second 45 minutes? Those fans who have stuck with you through thick and thin, to reward them with that second half performance.
No, made things equal, because we had one more man on the pitch in that moment. Obviously made things equal. I think in the first half we still had our chances, second half too, but as Luke said, we were more sit back, try to not concede goals, be aggressive, not letting that coming through the lines, because they're very good at that. They have a lot of players that drop to play. Try to get them into the sides to cross the balls, because we had big players. We still concede the goal from the corner, but still I think we defended very well. And I think at the moment we were before the game, when we see ourselves in that situation, is about defending our goal and not conceding. And I think we did that pretty well, even conceding one goal, but we got the result that we wanted at the end.
And just finally, Lou, what does this do in the context of your season?
No, I think, you know, the season's still early. I think we've showed a lot of good things this season, you know, apart from picking up points. So I think we need to keep on working hard, keep on doing the things that we've been doing, and we'll be okay. Like I said, we're doing some really good things, and I think for us the most important thing is how clinical we can be in one end of the box, and then how we defend, you know, our box. That's the two main things that, you know, we need to keep working on, and we'll go from there.
Well, congratulations on a great team performance. But Luke, if you wouldn't mind doing the honours, Bruno, you are the player of the match. Well done.
Well done, Captain. Thank you. I'm Captain now.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done.
The 45-minute mistake that cost Mikel Arteta and Arsenal 3 points against Manchester City. In football, moments define matches. And sometimes, the moment that matters most is the one that comes too late. Mikel Arteta a manager known for his tactical discipline and long-term vision, waited 45 minutes too long to make the change Arsenal desperately needed. Against a fierce rival like Manchester City, a team that punishes hesitation, those 45 minutes were the difference between 1 point and 3. Yes, Bukayo Saka's second-half appearance offered some life. And yes, Eberechi Eze made a tangible impact off the bench, assisting the late equaliser. But the question that lingered long after the final whistle was simple. Why did it take so long? A cautious approach that backfired. Arteta's decision to start with a midfield trio of Mikel Merino, Declan Rice, and Martin Zubimendi may have been rooted in structure and security, but it ultimately lacked edge. It was the third time he had deployed that same combination this season. The result? 0 goals while all 3 were on the pitch. Only in Bilbao, after Victor Gyökeres came off and Merino was allowed to push higher, did Arsenal finally break through. But that spark came too late against City. And in a fixture that demanded invention, Arteta opted for control. When asked post-match about the selection, he offered little beyond, "I thought it was the best option to start the game." But safe doesn't win titles. Not against opponents like Manchester City. Eze's impact, a bitter reminder. Seeing Eze come on after half-time and immediately change the dynamic was bittersweet. He didn't just provide flair, he delivered results. His assist salvaged a point. But it also highlighted how different the match could have looked if he'd been trusted from the start. Even Noni Madueke, who once again impressed, could only do so much on his own. Without a creative partner in the final third, Arsenal looked one-dimensional for far too long. The Victor Gyökeres question, problem or symptom? Much will be said about Gyökeres' performance. Another game against a top-6 opponent without a single shot. But the reality is clear. This isn't a Gyökeres problem, it's an Arsenal problem. The Swedish striker thrives on service, on movement, on chaos in the box. Against City, he received none of that. It wasn't until the 70th minute that Arsenal played a meaningful pass between the lines, resulting in a corner. Too little. Too late. Gyökeres will shine against lower table sides where space and opportunity are more abundant. But in matches like these, when fine margins define the outcome, the burden of creation must fall to others. Soccer, Degaard, Eze. And critically, the manager must be bold enough to unleash them early. Arteta's post-match reflection. Thin justifications. Arteta defended his striker's performance. There were many good balls into the area. I remember 3 that he was very close to finishing. Big chances are hard to come by, but he's doing everything he can. We need to give him more, that's it. He's not wrong. But admitting the striker needs more support only reinforces the criticism. Arsenal didn't offer enough, and that starts with selection. A season not lost, but lessons must be learned. To be clear, Arsenal haven't collapsed. They haven't stumbled beyond recovery. Their early season fixture list was unkind. 3 grueling away matches, including a looming trip to Newcastle, and 2 dominant home wins. 13 points from a possible 18 would still be a strong foundation, should they find a way to win at St. James Park. These aren't cracks in the foundation. They're signs of a team under construction, battling the elements before the structure is fully in place. But if Arsenal are serious about chasing silverware this year, these are the moments that must be handled better. These are the decisions that can't be delayed. Looking ahead, Arsenal's next steps. There's reason for optimism. Soccer is back. Degaard is pushing through his recovery. Eze is growing in confidence, and Madueke continues to shine. Kai Havertz, too, would have been a welcome presence in a game like this, someone to bring tactical versatility and intelligent movement to the No. 9 role. Importantly, Arsenal avoided defeat. That matters. Momentum is still within reach. Now comes a stretch of games that can truly shift the season's trajectory. November's challenge will require courage, clarity, and risk, qualities Arteta has shown before, but must now show again. Because in this league, especially in a title race, the smallest delays can cost the biggest prizes. The ripple effect, what Arteta's decisions signal to the squad. More than just tactical missteps, Arteta's reluctance to start his most creative players sends a message to the dressing room, intentional or not. When flair is left on the bench and predictability starts in midfield, it implies hesitation. For a squad with young, hungry talent eager to take the next step, that message can dull momentum. Players like Eberechi Eze and Ethan Nwaneri don't just bring technical skill, they bring unpredictability, bravery, and a sense of forward urgency. Keeping that energy on the sidelines too long may not only cost results, but slowly sap the confidence of those whose spark the team needs most. It's a fine line between caution and constraint. And on Sunday, Arteta leaned toward the latter. Supporters react, a growing frustration beneath the surface. Among the Arsenal faithful, the result against City was met with a mix of relief and frustration. The point earned felt more like a rescue than a reward. For fans who remember the 5-1 demolition of last season, or even the narrow 2-1 loss in 2022 where Arsenal played on the front foot, this version of the team felt too reserved. Too unsure. Post-match discussions across fan forums and social media weren't centered on the draw, but on why it had to be a draw. The dominant narrative wasn't about who played well. It was about who should have played from the start. And in the eyes of many, it came down to a tactical hesitance at the top. Title contenders can't afford to play catch-up. In a title race, every point matters. But so does every pattern. Drawing away to City isn't, in isolation, a poor result. But the manner of the performance tells a deeper story. Dominance in possession doesn't always translate into threat. And while Arsenal controlled large portions of the match, they created very few moments that truly stretched the City backline. When the breakthrough finally came, from a long ball and a flash of brilliance, it felt less like design and more like improvisation. That lack of offensive cohesion raises an important question. If Degaard and Saka aren't fully fit, who is prepared to orchestrate the attack? And is Arteta willing to let them? A test of Arteta's evolution. This phase of Arsenal's project isn't about rebuilding anymore, it's about execution. Arteta has built a squad with depth, versatility, and ambition. The club has invested heavily, not just in talent, but in players ready to compete at the highest level. But if those tools aren't being used with courage, especially in the season's defining fixtures, the project risks stalling. Arteta has already proven he can coach a team into contention. Now, he must prove he can lead them to domination, not just by structure, but by instinct. That means trusting his most gifted players earlier, even if it introduces a layer of risk. Because when the stakes are this high, playing not to lose isn't enough. The road ahead, November's crucial window. With a pivotal away trip to Newcastle next, followed by a more favourable stretch of fixtures, the opportunity to build rhythm is right in front of them. But momentum needs more than results. It needs intent. Arsenal can't afford another game where urgency only arrives after half-time. The potential is unmistakable. This team has the balance of youth and experience, the structure, the depth, and now, arguably, the hunger. But if that ambition isn't reflected in the first whistle lineup decisions, they risk repeating the same frustrating patterns that cost them last season. Title-winning teams aren't just measured by what they survive. They're defined by what they seize.